Home of the prodigal son, young Chad Townsend. And Chad Townsend plays on, plays to the whistle, kicks away for Valentine home. Townsend, brilliant.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Chad Townsend Show. If you're new here, please make sure you do subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. If you're listening over on the audio platforms, make sure you rate and review the show. We really do appreciate it. Before we get into today's show, Victor, how are you? How's your weekend,
Good,
my
mate.
brother?
Mine was good.
Yes.
Went to Melbourne on the weekend, actually.
Oh, I see the
Had
little
a music
trendy,
festival in,
you little trendy dog.
Yeah, in Nam, as they like to call it nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, had a little music festival over there. Got to watch the footy.
Yeah.
Went to some bars. It's a nice city.
Yeah, it is.
Couldn't live there, but
No way.
I think I like the beach too much.
I need to go and play some golf down there, but that's,
The Royal Melbourne.
yeah. The
Anyway,
Sandbelt.
if anyone listening knows
If
how to
anyone's,
get Chad.
yeah, if anyone's listening, maybe reach out, get the boys down there. I know the TaylorMade headquarters is down there, so I'd love to go and see the guys down there too.
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, I've never played golf down in Melbourne, but
Yeah, neither. I've literally only been down there for footy, and that's it.
have you explored the town much?
No,
No?
not really. I've been to a couple of trendy coffee shops, but that's kind of it.
Yeah. They have good food culture over there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit better than Sydney.
No,
I can't
no,
say
no,
that.
no,
Yeah, the
no.
food's better than Sydney. It is.
No.
But how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. Went to the footy, watched all the footy. Wow. What a weekend of footy. I mean, we're going to get right into it today, but
How good was finals footy?
finals footy is just on another level, and it is just so good to watch. Had a few beers last night with the boys.
A few?
A few, too many. I'm a little bit tired at the moment.
I wonder if the mic's picking it
at the
up.
moment. But you know what? I'm still bringing the energy today. So
Mate, we're here.
You know what? We just get up, we go again, we work hard, and that's what we're doing. So yeah, I had a good weekend. Obviously, it would have been great to see the boys win, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But yeah, obviously taking the loss, unfortunately ending the season, and that means, you know, official. Retirement is
Officially official.
Like official. No more training. No more nothing. So
Tell me how that feels.
I mean, it feels very, very weird. The fact that, like, at this time of the year, usually you spend a couple of weeks to just relax, and then you go on holidays, and then honestly, it's like before you need to start training to get back into preseason training, and I'm like, I don't really need to do that anymore. Like, you know, there's this switch off in your head where it's like the pressure or the mentality of playing just like goes. And it's like, I don't have that anymore. So,
Because normally, like, when you finish the season, are you already thinking about next season?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Like thinking when you start next season?
yep, you got your start date when you return to preseason training, you got your off-season plans, and then you kind of work around that. But now it's like, I'm off forever. So my plans are like, hey, like, you know, I need a plan for life now. So it's exciting. I'm just so happy I don't have to go back to preseason, to be honest with you.
But you did tell me last week you do want to do the Bronco test.
Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, for sure. I'll do it. We're going to do a vlog on it, I reckon. We'll do a vlog and we'll show the people I've never revealed my Bronco time, but I'll talk about it. We'll do a vlog. I'll run the Bronco as a retired, washed up halfback. And
We'll see how we go.
see how I go.
Yeah.
It'll be a
I
good
reckon you
vlog.
got it.
It'll be a good vlog.
I'll do it with you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's good. You do it with me.
Yeah.
All right.
If I beat you, you have to get a perm.
There's no way you'll beat me. No way.
We'll see.
All right. Enough trash talk from the boys. Let's get into the real stuff this weekend. Let's have a look at the show. We've got what's trending in the NRL. We'd look at some of the biggest topics that are trending right now. We've got our week 1 finals reaction, and then we're going to have a look at our fan questions. So obviously only the 4 games this weekend, but still so much to talk about. And let's get into what's trending, Victor. Hit me. What do we got straight off the bat?
You won the Dennis Tutty Award over the week.
That's right.
You'll talk to us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I won an award last week called the Dennis Tutty Award, and very prestigious award. It's given to a player on behalf of the RLPA, someone who demonstrates leadership, someone who demonstrates, I guess celebrating the game of rugby league and the contribution to the game. So for me, it's a huge honour. I got it given to me last week on Channel 9, and it's voted by the players. Some of the previous award winners, Daly Cherry Evans, Wade Graham, Dale Finucane, all these players have done great things with the RLPA in the past, and my progression in the RLPA for the Players Association is always, I've progressed as I've gotten older. Now I sit on the board of the RLPA, so I do have quite a big say in, you know, the players and our terms and conditions, and I sit on a lot of the board meetings, and it is, yeah, I've worked up as like a delegate to the player advisory group, and then now on the board. So yeah, look, a huge honour for myself. I'm very, very grateful. You know, Dennis Tutty, for people who may not know, is an ex-player who basically sacrificed a lot, big parts of his career to sit out and sort of make way and push towards players getting better terms and conditions and payment for being a professional rugby league player. So his story is incredible. If you ever want to Google him, just have a read of his story, Dennis Tutty. It is absolutely incredible, some of the things he did, and it's definitely paved the way, you know, for us where we are today. And obviously, you know, I'm hopeful. Like, I know that where I am now, the terms and conditions or everything is much better than where it was when I first started, and it's only going to get better. And so it should, for men and women, for players in the game. Like, we want the best product. We want the best terms and conditions. We want to be able to deliver for fans, for stakeholders, for everyone. So it's obviously a big passion of mine when I can stand up and speak freely for the players. And I felt like I've stood up and said a lot of things over my career, especially in CBA negotiations, because some people don't necessarily want to put themselves out there. But for me, I am very comfortable with who I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am on and off the field as a player in my career. And I have never really given a rat's about what people say about me. So that really, I guess, you put all those things together and, you know, you're passionate about your work, then, you know, that's why I've kind of said, you know, some things out in the media when the CBA was happening. And, you know, for some players who may not feel as comfortable, like, I was happy to sort of take a couple of bullets and do that, because a lot of the times in the media, like when the CBA happens, the media try to pinch the players as like greedy and looking for more money. And money is like, it is definitely not everything. Like, there's so much that comes into it, like the leave entitlements. There's like your NIL, your name and image use, and a whole range of other stuff. And I'll get it all, I guess, another day, but it's more than just money.
More than just money.
Because the salary cap's going up regardless. Every year it goes up. You know what I mean? It doubles around every 7 or 10 years. The salary, it actually doubles. So I think it might be 10 years. But I'll fact check that. Anyway, so yeah, a huge award for myself. I'm very, very grateful, very appreciative towards the RLPA, towards my fellow players for voting for me. It really does mean a lot. And I just want to say a massive, massive thank you.
Brilliant.
Next.
Michael Ennis. I say Michael? Michael Ennis. Michael Ennis. Because
right.
I was going to say Mick Ennis, and then I said Michael. We're both hungover. Michael Ennis joins the Dragons as assistant coach. Huge news. Talk to us about this one.
For Shane Flanagan and the Dragons. So they lost Ryan Carr, who's moved over to Super League, and Michael Ennis, who has bounced from a few clubs, Sharks, Raiders, and Manly, and now he signs on as Dragons assistant coach. So the old gang's back together, Flano and Mickey Ennis. Obviously, Flano was the one that got Michael Ennis away from the Dogs to Cronulla to have that successful stint at the back end of his career. Obviously went out a premiership winner with us at the Sharks, and is highly regarded around the game as one of the game's, you know, great thinkers, great minds, great work ethics. I'm a big fan of Michael Ennis, and I think this is a great signing for the Dragons. I spoke to Val Holmes the other day. He was so excited, thinks he can add so much value to the Dragons and, you know, what they're doing there. And we've spoken a bit about the Dragons and the optimism that, you know, their young players have, or they have with the young players in the future. Obviously, gave a lot of them some debuts this year, and they're only going to get better. So, look, I think it's a great signing. I am hearing it's full time, so I'm not sure what his commitments are with Fox potentially next year. but it sounds like he may be stepping a little bit back from his Fox role and focusing more on the Dragons role, where I think predominantly when he was at Manly, he was able to do kind of both, go in a couple of days at Manly and then do his commitments with Fox on the weekend and whatever. So, congratulations to him. I think it's a great appointment for the Dragons, for Shane Flanagan, for Michael Ennis. I look forward to watching them both go, working together and obviously seeing how they can sort of, bring out the best in the Dragons in next season.
Love it. How far do you think the Dragons are from having that premiership window?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like, the reality is the Dragons have finished 15th this season, and from going to 15th to, first is, that doesn't happen overnight, But I think it's kind of one step at a time, you know what I mean? They got to get back to finals first before sort of talking about a premiership, and that's what they'll be talking about inside their four walls. I mean, there are other teams who are in their window right now, and they're actually talking about premiership. You know what I mean? The Dragons, more, in my opinion, would be talking about getting back to finals. You know what I mean? Then you get back to finals, and you've made finals consistently for maybe 1 year, 2 years, and then you kind of then make a tilt, a real go at it. In a couple of years. So you just look at the Dogs. Look at the Dogs. A couple of years ago, they weren't talking about premiership, but now Serraldo's slowly built them up, got them into finals. They finished third this year. And now they're a team that could actually win the premiership.
Yep.
So that's what I would sort of, I guess, like comparison. Yeah.
Yep. Sick. Taylor May signs a 2-year deal worth 1.25 mil with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Huge.
Congratulations, Taylor May. Gets a second chance basically at the Tigers and comes back and signs with his brother. And, I called a couple of his games on SEN on the radio this year, and I was a big fan of some of his output, and I really think that there's a lot of good football in front of him. He's an aggressive ball runner, breaks tackles, he's aggressive in defence, and I think when you play with your brother, and obviously Terrell's there as well, they're it can bring out the best of you. You look at some of the other examples of brothers that play together, Travojeviches, etc. I think these two will have a huge impact on the Tigers moving forward. And I think it's a good signing. I think Taylor May's showed that he's come back. He's fitted into the team. He's got back into the NRL. He's worked hard at what he's got, and he's earned himself a new contract. So congratulations to him. I think it's a good signing. I like him in that left centre position for the Tigers. I think he's going to be there for the next, however long he wants to. And I know Benji Marshall's a big fan of him. So, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, if you work hard and you want something, there are second chances there for people. Yep. So well done to him.
Terrell, Kale Iro signs with the Sharks until 2029.
Yes.
Huge.
A huge week for the Sharkies. Kale Iro signs with the Sharks. Blake Brayley made it official also.
Oh, yep.
Long term. Sharkies, Blake and KL. So huge week for Cronulla. Yeah, to obviously get those contracts sorted. Obviously, Blake was a free agent come November 1. So Sharkies obviously pretty keen to sort of lock him up. And I think his form has been outstanding this year. I had it in our team of the year. Yep. We had him at hooker for our team of the year, which we put out last week, and obviously played a dominant role in the Sharks' win on the weekend against the Roosters. So look, I think for KL as well, obviously he's had a little bit of injury trouble this year, but his try-scoring record's been phenomenal for the Sharks. Ever since he kind of got that start in the centres, he's really just made that position his own. And yeah, I think it's good for the club to secure two young guys. Or Blake's, I can't believe Blake's actually getting a bit older now. You know what I mean?
When you say young, he's like,
I remember I played in Blake's debut, NRL debut, you know what I mean? So, he's 26 years old. That's not even that old. But, every time I see him, I'm just I just think he's 20.
Still a kid.
And you go he looks 20.
Yeah. Baby face.
He won't mind me saying that. No, I'm a big fan of Blake. Obviously, he's a local junior at the Sharkies as well from the Shire. So, him and I speak a little bit. Obviously, I'm good friends with Jaden as well. They come from a great football family. And, great for them. All right.
Moving on to the games.
Let's go. Moving on to the games. And what a weekend of football. Jesus, ladies and gentlemen, I have never been obviously this year, right? I we sign up for the podcast every week, and I've never watched more football in my life. Like, I watch football, right? And, like, when you're playing, I don't know, if you miss a game because you're out or whatever, it's like, oh, what was the score? And that was it. You know what I mean? But now it's like I am making an actual effort to sit down and watch every single game as best I can. I take notes on my phone. I transfer over to our little tab on the podcast notes. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm sitting at home on Friday just, like, absolutely fired up watching this game. And finals is just another beast. Like, it is crazy. Storm 26, Bulldogs 18. This game had it all, didn't it?
Yeah.
Kick out obviously went off early with injury. The head knock, sorry. He would later come back on. But, I mean, the Storm were the Storm. They were super impressive. They started really fast. That's what the Storm do. Eli Katoa scored in the 3rd minute. And then the chaos kind of ensued after that. I mean, Stephen Crichton, the injury to him. Do we have an update there? Syndesmosis.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll miss out next week.
2 to 4 weeks, so he won't be there next week. And it's a tough ask for the Dogs. But obviously, Stephen Crichton injured, right? He goes off. You wouldn't read about it. Toby Sexton comes on the field. His first game back in the NRL for a couple of months. Obviously, during the week, the selection of Sexton on the bench. And I put a little video out saying, like, it's a big day for Toby Sexton, you know what I mean? It's good to see him back in the NRL. I wish him well. And obviously, no Reed Marnie on the bench for the game. And Sexton comes in and he scores a try with pretty much his first touch. So I think that would have been a confidence booster, I think, for Sexton. And to be fair, I thought Sexton had a pretty good game.
I think he had a great game.
I thought he had a pretty good game. I mean, he had that one kick out on the full that was hurtful for the Dogs. But other than that, I mean, it's hard to sort of critique his game because I thought, he threw a lot of dummies. His communication was great. You could just see how locked in he was, with his eyes and his talk. Every time the camera was on him, I was like, he's locked in. And I really enjoyed watching him. A couple other takeaways from this game. Anari Tuala, he obviously hurt his calf. Joe Chan had an HIA. He did not return. They obviously got the weekend off now, the Storm, so he won't miss any games. Jonah Pezzett, Victor. What a game. What a game. Last week on the podcast, you would have recalled me saying, I think the Storm will name Wishart at 7 and Pezzett at 14, but I am starting Pezzett. I said it to you last week on the podcast, Victor, did I not?
Coach Chad.
I said I'm starting Pezzett. He's playing like a starting 7 at the moment. He's confident. His kicking game's been phenomenal. He had 62 touches of the ball in this game. He had more than Cameron Munster. 10 more than Munster. Actually, Munster had 52. So you're talking about this kid who's maybe played like 20 games, having more touches than Cameron Munster in the game, more control of the game than Cameron Munster. Like, it just goes to show me where he's at the moment. Like, I've said it constantly, I think he needs to go to another team because obviously he's second string behind Hughes. If and when Hughes comes back in this final series, obviously he may go to the bench, he may be out of the team. But I think there would be maybe 8 clubs who'd be like, Jonah Pezzett, come and sign with us. You can be our starting halfback.
Well, there was news that just came out, like, I think this morning, that the Rabbits rejected an offer to have him on loan next season.
Yeah, I did actually see that, which is obviously when you hear reports in the media, we don't know if it's definitely true or not, but obviously we can react to it. And I think that would have been a good idea for South. Like,
yeah.
Who's their starting halfback next year? Humphreys and Cody Walker?
Do you think they still run with Walker next?
I'd put Jonah Pezzett in halfback and Humphreys at 5'8", like I would vice versa. Put them two in the halves.
Mm.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Pezzett finished with two line break assists, 1 try assist. So his kicking game was outstanding. He's got a great long kicking game. His technique's excellent. And you see like these 40-20s he kicks and the way he drops the ball. he's literally dropping the ball on that nice little angle, and it's just cutting towards the sideline. Like, you can just tell he's put a lot of reps into that, and it's not as easy as it looks. So well done to Jonah Pezzett. Some other key performers for the Storm. Will Warbrick, he obviously had that key intercept in the game. He ran for 294 metres. It was great to see him playing and bouncing back after an extended layoff with concussion this season. The Storm finished with 82% completion. And I'll tell you one thing, that if I'm the Dogs, and obviously they'd be disappointed with, the loss and a couple of injuries, Crichton, Tuala. But gosh, if I'm a Dogs fan, I'd be proud of their team. They showed a lot of fight and bounced back and almost could have won this game. Like, there was a stage there where it was very, very close. And I'm sitting watching the game and I'm like, geez, the Dogs are showing some actual great fight here. They're not laying down. And I think their coaching staff, their fans should have been super proud. Like, it's tough to go down there in Melbourne and play. And obviously they get a lot of scrutiny at the moment because of probably some of the big decisions that, their club has made with regards to some of their personnel. But I just think that, they deserve some credit. Like, they played an extremely good game, I thought. And, unfortunately they took the loss. And obviously now they get the second bite at the cherry. Now they play the Panthers next week, which is going to be probably sold out. It'll probably be sold out.
What a fairy tale.
At Core Stadium.
Oh, man, that's going to be such a cracking game.
It'll be an absolute cracking game next weekend, which, again, is going to be awesome to watch. But, yeah, for the Dogs, like, they completed at 79%. They showed ball security. All the stats were kind of urged a little bit into the Storm's way. I mean, the Storm made 337 tackles. The Dogs made 390. The Dogs are always quite high in missed tackles. They missed 61 missed tackles. Storm missed 31. Because the Dogs have such intent line speed, they don't really care about their missed tackles. They just want inside pressure and inside press. So that's why you see a lot of their forwards, if someone skips across the field, they kind of shoot out of the line from the inside and just try and disrupt the ball runner. Errors were 11 Storm, 10 to the Dogs. So a lot of those, quite similar. But like I said, this was a good game to watch. The Storm were probably just that little bit better, even though they were missing some key personnel. Jerome Hughes out, Nelson suspended, and with his suspension and their week off now, he won't be available for the grand final if they are to win the prelim in 2 weeks' time.
How hard is it when you do have key players like Critter and Kickout go down during a game, especially a finals game? How is it hard to readjust your game plan?
It is a great question, Victor. I think, like, you've got the coaching staff would have game plans on regards to contingencies on if such and such gets injured. If a centre gets injured, this is what we're doing. If a back rower gets injured, this is who goes there, he goes here. And obviously they had the joy of having Toby Sexton on the bench. So Critter goes down, he goes off, the contingency plan comes into place. Sexton goes on the halves, Burton goes into the centres. It's that's pretty easy. Yeah. So it is something that is spoken about by the coaching staff. Not necessarily the players would be, you don't really go out on the field and say, hey, if you get injured on the weekend, then you're going to move to this position and you're going to do that. It's more so that's what the coaches would talk about. You let the players kind of focus on their what their role is without thinking, they might be injured or whatever it may be. So, that's part of the building and the game plan for the coaches during the week. The Storm into another prelim. And I'm not sure if you saw this, Victor, but did you see Craig Bellamy smiling after the game in the box? I was like, what's actually doing? Bellamy's smiling in the coach's box. Are we actually let's take a photo of that. Let's see that. First time all season.
Frame it.
Mate, it was great to see. I'm like, Bellamy, Craig, he's smiling, he's happy. And it was great to see. I mean, for a guy that every time the camera goes on him, it's just like all you see is he's back. or he's he's leaving the box, or he's just like he's got his head in his hands, and it's just like
the cameras are always on it when Storm make a mistake or like an error or something. They always know to switch to. Never when he's happy.
They know, man. They'd be like all spit all over the glass and spray, man. I would not want to be like the guy. So there'd be a guy in his box who would actually, like Craig would be saying messages. And there'd be a guy that'd be like talking those messages down to like the sideline. So and Craig would obviously just be spraying. So you would not want to be like this sort of middleman. It's like, and then you've got the trainer or manager or whoever it is on the sideline, and you're getting somewhat of a filtered message because Craig's kind of said it. The other guys then said it in the radio. You're getting it on the sideline, and then you've got to get it out on the field. So
it's like Chinese whispers.
It is. You can imagine, the ferocity of Craig Bellamy speaking, and then it's somewhat changing tone, and then sort of getting out onto the field at some stage. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Is there a camera like 24/7 on the coaches' boxes? Not 24. Sorry. The whole game.
All game. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like there'd be like a camera that just sort of sits on the coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Cam. So that was it. First game of the weekend. So Storm go through. They have the weekend off, and then the Bulldogs now play Panthers at Accor Stadium. Let's move on to the next game of the weekend. Panthers 24, Warriors 8. And wow. The Panthers go over to Auckland and get the job done from a 7th position, an away final, and, winning away in a final series, especially in an elimination final, is extremely difficult. But the Panthers obviously have shown that they are a champion side and put in a championship performance on the weekend. They controlled 56% of the ball. So their ball control was excellent. It was obviously rained a little bit at the start of this game, so the ball was dewy. Nathan Cleary, his kicking game was on point, especially the short kicking game. The amount of grubbers and balls on the deck he had, I thought was great to see. He was kicking early. He was putting pressure on a lot of the Warriors, and that to me was like a big difference in the game. Some of those short dropouts, the grubbers, were great. If you're a young player or NRL player, like I would, obviously a lot of guys go high and short to like their wingers for the bat back, but that short grubber in the dewy conditions, just nailed towards the sideline, was an extremely effective kick. So I think we may see more of that, because in this league, if you're listening, like it's a copycat league. If someone does something well, that's going to get copied. Yep. The game plan, the play, the trick play, the kick, it's just going to get copied.
That.
It's just how the world works in the NRL, to be honest. But yeah, I thought that was really, really effective for Nathan and for the Panthers. And I thought their backline was excellent. They all ran for well over 100 metres, the whole backline. Brian Toto was just absolutely amazing again. Jeez, he's hard to tackle. And that try he set up at the end was incredible. That bounce of the ball, just goes to show the momentum just shifting. Extremely difficult. The Panthers just get out of the field of play. Cleary kicks from inside his 20 on the last tackle. And then that bounce just... Talk about the footy gods. Talk about footy gods. Talk about bounce of the ball. Like, that was crazy. And then...
NFL passes.
The Luke Garner pass. What are we thinking? Thoughts?
You tell me.
You tell me.
No, you tell me.
My first initial thought was forward. Watching it live, I'm like, geez, that's a forward pass. And then after I watched it back and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And then I'm like, why am I saying that I'm okay with it? And because I urge towards attack, right? I want to see tries. I want to see if it's a 50-50, if it's a flat pass, let it go. Don't pull up a flat pass. Let the tries go. You want to see more tries, don't you? If it's a flat pass. So what are you smiling at?
It's not flat.
It wasn't flat. Oh, maybe
it was a flat pass. Yeah, it's a flat pass.
Uncle Scotty, I'm a bit biased towards Uncle Scotty at the moment. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Was it forward? Was it forward or was it flat? The pass from Luke Garner. I need to know. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's move on. 16 errors for the Warriors, and that's kind of what really hurt them in the end, as well as some of the pressure that the Panthers put on them. 9 errors for the Panthers. There was a lot of ball in play in this game, and for the Warriors, well, their season is now over, just like that.
Where do you rank this Warriors season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously I'm a Wars fan. I'm a big Warriors guy, and I love the Warriors. I love what they do, and I'm not sure how they would be feeling right now. You don't really want to say like it's a failed season or whatever it is, but I feel like they probably feel like they could have gone, another week or two. And I think for the most part of the season, the Warriors were kind of sitting inside the top 4, and it wasn't until the last kind of 6 weeks they moved back to 5th, and the Broncos jumped in there. Like the Broncos won 4 of their last 5 games and then just finished really strong. So look, obviously that the top 4 gives you 2 bites of the cherries, and the Warriors, 4 to 5th, lose week 1 and now they're out. So look, I think some of their players have had tremendous seasons. I think, we had Aaron Clark in our team of the year. Yep. They've had some other, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's wound the clock back. He's been outstanding this season. And obviously the addition of James Fisher-Harris. Obviously the key losses this year for them were like, the loss of Mitch Barnett and Luke Metcalf. Yep. Which really, really, it did hurt them at the back end of the game. Like Luke Metcalf was the best player in the comp for 6-8 weeks, at the start of the year after round 1. So, fully fit, healthy Luke Metcalf is going to be great for the Warriors. But yeah, obviously, I think it's definitely a pass. Like for me, if I'm a Wars fan, I'm sitting at home and I'm saying, look, I am proud of the guys. I'm proud of the boys. We had a great season. The fans have turned up. They've played a great style of football under Andrew Webster. To finish, I think it's 7th now, and you know what I mean.
I'm looking forward to seeing them next season.
Yeah. And obviously, unearthed some really talented young rookies who have played a lot more NRL this year, and they're only going to be better. Leka Halasima's, absolute freak. He probably didn't have his best game in the weekend, but he's going to be an absolute superstar. And they got a lot more talented youngsters. Obviously, their New South Wales Cup team had a great season as well. They lost on the weekend, but they won the minor premiership with like maybe a month to go. Like they had a massive win streak, so they got a lot of talent in that system as well. And then the Panthers, they move on. The Panthers
do Panthers things.
So just remember, they were sitting in last position after 12 rounds. Now they're inside the final 6. So,
who would you say are favourites to win this Bulldogs-Panthers matchup?
I'm saying Panthers are favourites for next week.
I think you have to.
For this week, sorry. Yeah, I 100%. Definitely.
Yep.
I am Panthers. I think Panthers can win.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next game. The second game on Saturday night. The Sharks 20, Roosters 10. The boys, unfortunately, the season is over for the Roosters on the weekend. Disappointing result, obviously, for the boys, because I feel like the boys were a dangerous team. Like they could have beat anyone, I feel like, in this final series. And, there are a few reasons as to why they probably didn't get the result in this game, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, I think just to kind of wrap that up, it was more like it was a really well run week, like great preparation, and you can just see that this club has done that a lot of times. You know what I mean? Training was excellent. The leadership group were great, but obviously, playing in a really hostile away environment, just not handling probably the second half as well as they would have liked. Just obviously, finishes the season. I actually rode my bike to the game. That's crazy, eh?
How early did you have to get there?
I got there like near kickoff, to be honest.
Well, you just rode it straight through the front gate.
Rode it down to the front gate and then changed it up to the gate and then just walked in.
Actual?
Yeah, I swear. Mate, I live 5 minutes from the ground.
So you walked in with all the supporters.
Yeah, I walked in with my hat on and my hoodie on. I rode my Amped Bros bike down, to be honest. That's what it was. My Amped Bros electric bike. Yeah, I walked in, I had my lanyard on, chained my bike up, walked in.
No one noticed you?
Had my hoodie and hat on. I didn't. I wanted to take a low profile, to be honest. Yeah.
Keep it incognito.
Yeah, well, like, it's not about me. I just wanted to be there to support the guys.
Yeah, right. Rode
my bike to an NRL game. That's crazy. First time ever. I've done a lot of firsts this year, to be honest.
First a line bike. Now.
First on a line bike, now and then my actual bike to a game. I could see myself doing that again, actually, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe if I take my kids to a game one day. I don't know. I actually never thought about that. I mean, I used to sit on the hill when I was a kid, so it'd be a pretty cool moment to actually take my son down there.
Yeah. Have you sat on Family Hill with your fam? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way, man. I haven't really been to NRL games until this season. Like, you know, when you commentate games, like if I'm not commentating, I don't really go to games as a fan to go and watch, I don't know, Souths play the Knights at a core.
Yeah.
Like I'm not unless I'm working on the radio, I'm not going to watch that game.
Yep.
I might go to like obviously I go and watch Scott play. You know, I go and watch the Panthers. I went and watched the Panthers last week play the Dragons. Or I could see myself, you know, I could actually see myself going to watch the Cowboys next year somewhere in Sydney. I'd take my young fella and I'd go and watch the game. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously love the game. I mean, let's get into this game. It was a great game to watch for me. Look, I really enjoyed watching this game. The intensity of this game was outstanding. The crowd obviously sold out. Obviously, you know, a lot of talk around the ground and who was actually, you know, where this game should have been played. And look, the environment was great. I can understand both points on that argument as to where the game should have been played and why and whatever. We're not going to get into that. But it was a pretty cool environment. Like, obviously, the crowd wasn't massive in terms of numbers, but it was like right there and right on top of you. Mark's Goosey, wow. Mate, Mark's season has been absolutely incredible. That Goosey, he had no right to kind of score that. He's coming on the outside and then just goose scores a try, mate. And that was really, really impressive. My bro Ronaldo had a fair bit to say last week, didn't he, the bro? Oh man, he's crack up, man. I get asked a lot, what's Ronaldo Mulatalo like? And I actually have a lot of time for Ronnie. He's a great guy. He's just a competitor. Like, you know, he talks trash. He wants to win. And you kind of put your nuts out on the line when you do that. If you do the talking, you have to back it up. You know what I mean? And he scored 2 tries on the weekend. It was that period before half time which really swung all the momentum. This game was like going back and forth. And then the Sharks were kind of coming off their line a lot, kicking deep inside their own half. Then that period, just before half time, I think Ronnie scored 2 of his tries. It might have been the 34th minute and then the 39th minute, right on her 34th and 39th minute. I got that right. Just before half time, that try, on the 39th minute was a killer. You know, it really just changed the whole scheme of the game. So that was, and I think at half time, obviously, you could see the Roosters come out in the second half like a completely different team. They were very fired up at the start of that second half. Then they had all the momentum and all the running, and Angus Crichton scored in the 47th minute. So then I'm like, all right, it's game on here. It's game on. This could be anyone's. I'm thinking, geez, the boys are looking good. Like they could score again here. They could score again. Obviously, you see the shift of momentum in all the games over the weekend. Like that's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, the next game, you could just see the momentum just shift, man. It just switches on its head. So I'm thinking, geez, the boys are gonna keep scoring here. But then after that period, just after half time, that kind of 10-15, it kind of the back end, it then kind of flipped again with a lot of yardage errors for us, like just not able to get to the kick. And that was probably ultimately which undone us in the end. I feel the yardage errors, we ended up making 16 total errors. And I think 8 of those may have been in yardage coming off your own line. And the goal in your yardage is to like complete every single set. Like you need to be 100% completion, and the completion rate was probably not where it needed to be. And I think that's something that, looking at the stat, like 68% completion for the boys on the weekend, completed 30 of 44 sets, and you're not going to win a finals game with stats like that. The Sharks were 79%, and obviously we spoke about they were 95 last week against the Dogs, obviously 79 this week against the Roosters, but the boys 68%. I think that's probably the biggest thing that would hurt. Just to be saying, mate, if we just had completed those sets and kicked those balls back to Cronulla, put some pressure back onto them, you know what I mean? The game may have gone a little bit more the other way. So I think that's probably the most disappointing thing for the guys, for the boys, and I've got no doubt they'll be working pretty hard on that over the course of the off-season. Obviously, Toby Rudolph scored that late try, and another takeaway was we didn't really get anything off any high kicks in the game. Obviously we've got Mark and Toops on the wings, and, we didn't score a try off a kick in that regard. Sammy put the nice kick for Gussie on the ground, which looked great, but it was those high kicks where we've had so much value over the course of the season with those two such threats. But you got to give credit. I mean, Sione Katoa took some great catches in the air. They would have done their homework, but it's like when you've got your guys, like you just stick to it, and that probably hurt us a little bit as well. I do want to wrap that up, this period of the podcast, and just kind of say to the Roosters Club, Roosters fans, thank you very much for having me this season. I've had an absolute ball. I got 6 games, won one of them, which would have been better to get a couple more wins. But yeah, I just want to say massive thank you to everyone who I've met. And I've been a big admirer of the Roosters from the outside for such a long time. And to actually be inside those 4 walls and hear how Trent Robinson operates and work with Teddy and see Radley and Lindsay Collins and Spencer and Gussie and Connor Watson and all these older guys who I've played against for a long time, to actually meet them and get to know them, who they are as people, it's actually been a really, really cool thing. And then obviously a lot of the young guys as well, at that New South Wales Cup level, who you guys are going to see a lot more of over the next couple of years. I've just loved working with those boys as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you for the opportunity to the club staff as well, who have helped out me tenfold with other areas of life. A massive thank you. Football it's great when you do it with good people, and the Roosters have a lot of good people, and I just feel very thankful for the club. And I genuinely, even though I've been here for 1 season and for 2 minutes, and I've only played 6 games, I actually feel like a part of the club, and that's really special for myself and my family. I've got my debut Roosters jersey framed. It's going to go in my front room. It's going to go on the wall. I've got all my debut jerseys in the NRL, because to me, it's regardless if you play 1 game for a club or you play 400 or whatever it is, when you get to that 1 game, you kind of think about when you're a kid and all you wanted to do was just play 1 game of NRL. So to do that has been special for me. So I just want to say a massive thank you to the Roosters for season 2025.
Oh, he's dropped his coffee.
Just knocked over me coffee.
Dropped his coffee.
On my phone.
Oh.
Jesus, Victor. Mate.
Hungover Chad.
What's actually
today
doing? No, this lucky it didn't go on my laptop.
Too many beers.
If I had a camera, I would just... am I a bit off today, or am I going all right?
Mate, we'll give you a pass. Clovelly Hotel, mate. It was a bad...
I'm holding it down here today. I'm just showing up. I just love it. I don't even give stuff. I'm here and I'm loving it. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Might go for a swim this afternoon. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. The last game and the most probably exciting game I've ever come across in my life. Broncos 29, Canberra 28 in Golden Point. They play the 80 minutes. Then we've obviously got the extra time in the final series and then Golden Point. So that's one of the big differences in the finals games is it doesn't go straight to Golden Point. It goes to 10 minutes of extra time, 5 either way, and then Golden Point. So this game pretty much had it all. I mean, wow.
Is this the best game of rugby league you've ever seen?
You know what? It's up there. This was one of the best games I've ever watched.
Yep.
And I'm one of my best mates is a Raiders absolute tragic. And I'm I text him when I thought they'd won, like LFG, and then I had to undo send because I was like, and I could have done that probably 3 times. I'm like, they pretty much won the game 3 times, and then they lost it.
I thought Ricky was going to have a heart attack on that sideline.
Mate, you just had
The
to.
emotions he was
Oh,
going
mate, then
through.
the press conference was just like, oh, it was hard. I mean, you just got to feel for to lose a game like that. You know, it's one-ended, but then to win the game like that, oh, man, like it is crazy. And there are some huge takeaways from this game. I mean, the performances of both fullbacks. KO Weeks was absolutely outstanding for the Raiders. Reece Walsh, I mean, we've spoken highly about Reece Walsh and his form since Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mam have been out. He, again, was absolutely on fire. 174 metres with the ball, 1 line break, 2 try assists, 2 line break assists, 40-20, and 1 headbutt. 1 headbutt. What are we making of this headbutt? Because, I mean, I'm just jumping straight to the headbutt situation because, mate, Hudson Young did not deserve to be sent from the field. Ashley Klein had a fair impact on this game, and that impact was crazy, man. I don't care. Like, if Hudson Young can say whatever he likes to Reece Walsh. You can say whatever you like on the field. There's no you know, obviously, as long as it's not, you can't say anything like racist or anything like that. Yeah. Like I'm not talking about that, but he can say he can say whatever he likes on the field to Reece Walsh, but Reece Walsh then will go over, react, and then just headbutt him, and then Hudson Young gets 10 minutes in the bin. It's like, and then Broncos get the penalty, mate. Come on, that was an absolute joke, absolute joke. He does not. I don't know. Like, am I wrong? Like,
no, you're right. Reece Walsh should have been the only man sent off that.
Reece Walsh should have been in the bin, and it should have been Raiders' penalty.
Yeah.
Because you just can't. Like, I could say whatever you want. I could say whatever I want to some player. It doesn't matter. Like, it's up to Reece Walsh to not say anything back, or he can say something back. Right? They can have a little bit of a verbal and a bit of a push and shove or whatever. But if you just go over and headbutt someone, like. And then you get the penalty, mate.
How many sin bins would there be for trash talk if we...
If we trash talk, man, Ronaldo Mulatalo would be in the sin bin every single week, wouldn't he? Like, come on.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Mate, this is firing me up. Like, it absolutely changed the game. Like, and I thought the Raiders should have won this game. Like, you know what I mean? And that moment just fired me up because I'm like, Ashley Klein, you just got it so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
Yeah. And now I think the reports are Reece Walsh is not going to get any games for the headbutt, and he's just going to cop a fine. I think that's what's doing.
What?
So
a fine?
Just a fine. Do you agree with that?
Mate, I don't know. It's literally like a lucky dip in there. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd love to know what fans think. I'd love to know what you guys listening think. Like, if you, first of all, obviously I'm pretty sure we all agree on that situation with Hudson Young, all right? But does Reece Walsh get suspended or does he get fined? Like, what is the appropriate consequence for his actions? I'm okay with the fine. You know, I wouldn't want to see Reece Walsh suspended for that.
I think if it's a regular season game, he maybe gets a game off.
And the thing is, the games are refereed different in the big games. Refs want to put their whistle away, but I mean, Ashley wanted to bring it out yesterday, which he could have taken the 3 points in the Daily M, man of the match yesterday, with his performance. Anyway, the Broncos, they did get. Victor's putting me off.
The AK-47.
The Broncos, they had 57% possession. They did control a lot more ball, and the Raiders made a lot more errors than the Broncos. Let's get the numbers up there, Victor, for me, can you? Because the Broncos played, like, the momentum just flipped on its head. It was all Raiders. Then the Broncos were coming. They were coming. Like, Raiders made 17 errors in this game. Like, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You're not going to win a game. Like, even though they lost by 1 point because their defense was so brave, you know, and they're obviously a good team. But if they had a half that, if they had 10, you know, the Broncos had 12, like, that would have obviously helped them. But it was just the momentum, the back end of the game. Reece Walsh was just swinging down, especially to their left. He was playing short. He was playing long. They had that Raiders right edge just in all sorts.
When he came back on after his sin bin, that might have been the craziest 15 minutes of football.
Yeah. It's almost like he's just out there just sort of, just get me the ball, let me do my thing.
I think he went try assist.
Yeah.
40-20.
Yeah. Crazy. Man, that 40-20 was a cracker. Yeah. And it's just like momentum. And then that's when you talk about momentum in a game, it's like momentum just turns on its head from just one play. And I'm watching the game and I'm like thinking to myself, geez, like the Raiders just need the ball. Like all they need to do is get the ball back. That's how you stop the momentum. So they'd concede a try, they'd kick off. The Broncos would go the whole length of the field. They'd get a repeat set, and I'd be like, all they need to do is just get the ball. If you get the ball and then you complete your set and then you get a good kick on it and then you tackle them inside their 20, 15, and then you maybe get the second tackle, you get a marker tackle like that, it stops all the momentum and then it just kind of puts it back into neutral. And that's all you need. All you just need is it in neutral, where it's like, you're just in live ball period where you're just kicking back to each other, where if you're conceding a lot of meters and then they're obviously putting competitive kicks up and then they're competing on kicks and getting the ball back and forcing errors, like that's where it gets dangerous. So, geez, it was an impressive win for the Broncos. Obviously, the extra time followed by the golden point, the field goal by Ben Hunt, steps up, comes off the post. I mean, I was very happy for Ben Hunt to kick that field goal. What a moment. Yeah, a great moment for the Broncos and a huge win. You see how fired up Madge Maguire was in the box? He was like, he was proper fired up.
Proper fired up.
And like for the Broncos to go down to Canberra and get that win away, bloody huge. And I said last week, like, I thought the winner of that game, like, I think they go on to win the comp.
Really?
Yeah. So obviously now the Roosters are out. I was on Raiders, like I thought I really liked the Raiders, but I was like, the winner of this game I think kind of goes on to win the whole thing. And the Broncos, their form, let's just look at they've won 4 of their last 5 games in the regular season. Now they've won 5 of their last 6 games, right? So they are into a prelim with the week off. Adam Reynolds looks potentially to come back into the side. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes with Walsh, because of Walsh is just on a heater at the moment. He's their best player, and the impact he's having on games are absolutely incredible. He's playing some of the best football of his career.
Yeah,
right now.
I think Haas is going in for scans as well.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
nothing on him yet, but he was seen left limping.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So he played through it, I think, for that last bit of that game. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, he's an absolute freak, isn't he?
How much do you think that would have taken out of Canberra?
Yeah.
At 95 minutes.
It's a good question, because it would just absolutely be devastating for the Raiders to lose in a fashion like that, and then to play like 95 minutes and to lose at a game that it was as intense as it was. The heart, the effort, the contact, the physicality. And then obviously you've got like the physical toll of the loss, but then the mental toll of the loss as well. Like you can just imagine when Ricky Stewart was in that shed last night, and what do you say to your team where you're just sitting there and you're absolutely devastated? Like the mental toll would be huge. And all you can say is just like, mate, just unbelievably proud of the effort you guys showed. This won't define us. We need to, bounce back and get over this. And it might take the Raiders, a couple of days to kind of get over it. But then once they get back into training, look, I'm pretty sure they will highlight some areas they need to improve on. And then it's kind of, you need to just move on to the next week. And obviously they now play the Sharks. The luxury about as well winning and finishing in the top 2 is that you do get 2 guaranteed home finals. So they obviously play Sharks back at home this weekend.
Yep.
So look, it's a tough loss, and now it's up to them and their staff to really motivate the guy. I mean, they won't be short of motivation, right? But it's like to get them back into training, to get them moving again, to get him, back into good headspace, and then boom, we're dialed into Sharkies this week.
I'm just interested, the physicality wise, because they talk about 6-day turnarounds, and Ricky was obviously trying to avoid that last week. Now they do have a 6-day turnaround.
Yep.
Physically, do you feel it in the next 6 days?
100% you do.
Yep.
No, any game you play for 95 minutes, that's finals intensity, you definitely do. But the best thing about this time of the year is like training isn't hard this time of the year. Training's quite easy. All the hard work's done. The DNA of who you are it's done. It's there. Your game, your who you are as a team, your generic game plan, taking out the specifics to geared towards a certain team is there. So then when they're training this time of the year is like short, sharp, and intense, but it's not hard or physically taxing. It's more about recovery, and then doing some short, sharp, intense training on nailing down our DNA and who we are, and then recovery. Yep. Massage, stretching, mobility, physio, all that, ice baths, all that sort of stuff. Days off, making the most of your days off. Getting out in the sun, going and switching off recovery mode. Because a day off to refresh yourself physically and mentally is just as important as a day at training this time of year. So look, it is just makes it that much harder for the Raiders now and their path, obviously, to play against the Sharks, and then they'll have to play again, the following week. So I'm not saying they can't do it, but it just makes the road just that little bit harder. So yeah, mate, crazy weekend of footy. What a weekend! We are fired. Well, I'm just fired up for a
How good is finals?
For the finals football. I mean, this weather's absolutely crazy. The footy's been crazy, and mate, I'm absolutely loving it. To be honest, this is the best time. The NFL's back.
How are you going with your fantasy?
I'm going great. I'm in 4 leagues. I had 3 for 4 last week wins. This week, I think I've only got 2 out of 4. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Yeah. So actually, I got home last night quite late. But then by the time I got home, the NFL just kicked off. So I actually sat on the couch, had a shower, and then I sat on the couch and watched a bit of the NFL before I went to bed.
You fall asleep on the couch? Or?
No, I don't fall asleep on the couch. I'm not that guy. I like going to bed. Usually I get up early on Mondays, but I get up like 5 a.m. to start watching the games. But
you were already
I was
up.
already up.
You're already up at 5 a.m.
I wasn't that late. Well, the games kick off at 3, and I was like, I got home. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go into it.
It was a big night.
It was a fun night. Yeah, it always is.
Can I get your predictions for next week's game?
Yes, you can.
Raiders Sharks.
Sharks. Look, I'm going to go. Jeez. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for both. You know what? I'm going to go Raiders.
Score?
Very 24-20. Some points. We've seen points. We've seen a fair few points in this first week of finals. I think it's going to be a good game. I do think the Sharks can win just because of how the Raiders, what their weeks look like this week. But I'm just going to go Raiders with the home ground advantage and a bounce back win.
And Bulldogs Panthers.
I'm Panthers. Again, I think there's points again. I think it's 28-16. I think Panthers over. Obviously, no Crichton hurts. No Tuala. And the Panthers, I just think, are playing a great brand of footy. They've got pretty much a full complement of players, no injuries. Cleary, obviously, playing great. And I just think the Panthers do it again. They've played a lot of football at a core stadium, so that's not going to worry them. The home ground advantage hasn't really been a home ground thing for them this year because they've played out of Bank West because their stadium's getting built. So I don't think it really worries them to go to a core and play the Dogs. So I'm going to go Panthers.
Love it.
Yeah.
We only have a couple. Oh, actually, we only have one fan question today.
One fan question this week. Let's go. Hit me.
It's a big one.
Let's go.
will you be supporting the Sharkies next year?
Oh my goodness, who's asked this question? Was it Victor Ying?
No, it could have been. It was my alt account.
Question from Victor Ying. Will you be supporting...
Question by depressed Cronulla fan 2.
Depressed Cronulla fan 2? Why are you depressed?
I don't know. We're in finals.
That's crazy.
What's
I
going
hope
on?
your bros, I hope the depressed fans are right. Will I be supporting? Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm a big supporter of all of the clubs I played for. I mean, the thing is, like, when you kind of do this type of stuff and you talk about footy and, you know, you have to tip teams. And obviously I've just tipped, like, the Raiders to beat the Sharks. Like, mate, I grew up on the hill watching the Sharks with my Sharks flag. You know what I mean? Like, I was a Sharks fan as a kid. But I also, like, I am just so appreciative of the 4 clubs I played for the opportunity they gave me to fulfill my dreams of playing in the NRL. But now it's like, you know, I don't know, if I watch a game and I tip, like I just tipped the Raiders, it's like, it doesn't mean I just don't like, you know, the Sharkies. I've made a lot of good friends at the Sharks. But yeah, obviously it's like, I mean, when you retire, do you kind of align yourself with one team, or are you allowed to support all the teams you played for?
It's a very, very political answer from you.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. You're a fan of the game.
I'm a fan of the game. But will I be supporting the Sharkies? Of course I will be. And we've got a few plans next year with content and stuff with some clubs, which we're looking forward to. So
I've got one more question for you.
All right, let's go. Hit me.
Did you see Felties?
Oh, yes. I'm glad you brought it up. And this is crazy that we've brought it up, but let's bring it up. Do we have the clip?
Oh, yeah. I do.
All right, let's see if we can find it. Because, wow. So for people who may not know, my bro, old bags, Kyle Felt, cops an instant. Here we go. Cops instant. I think it's card.
Instant sniper.
Instant sniper. And he gets sent from the field.
Bell, short to Whitley, acted on, Felt will collect it, sent away from one and slips. Goes down, is he saying he was taken high, Felt? Well, even Gold had a look at the referee there.
Well, I think
my goodness,
he's committed
Felty
to
bud.
theatrics now, isn't he? He's got to ride it out now.
Serious question here. If there is no contact,
EPL audition, Felty Bud reckons. EPL audition takes the dive. And you know what? We do anything to win. Felty's doing anything to win. He's trying to get the penalty. You know what? I don't really care. I think it's funny. And I don't think Felty would care as well. But, man, it is, absolutely crazy. What, that was
good performance.
That was so funny. All right. That's it. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
We got through today's episode.
Finals, baby.
Finals, baby. Yeah, let's get it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe, drop us a comment, and we'll see you guys next week. Let's go.